So here's what I think is one of the most effective ways to overcome buck fever and to increase your confidence and overall success when you get that mature buck in bow range. So I've been bow hunting for over 25 years now, and during that time I've definitely grown and matured a lot as a hunter, and I've also learned a lot just from those sits on the deer stand. During those early years on the bow stand, I was able to harvest some deer, but I also took some not great shots, and definitely had some shots that I wouldn't take now. But it was all part of the learning process. I was trying to figure out this bow hunting thing, figure out how to have consistent success with shooting the deer that were in front of me. And early on, it was a learning process for me. And through that learning process, I think the one thing that has helped me the most by far to become a better hunter and to be able to overcome the nerves of buck fever and target panic when I got a good buck in front of me is shooting does. Now, even when you have a doe in front of you, it's exciting. If you know you're going to harvest the doe that night, the nerves start pumping. You can feel the adrenaline going. But it is different. It's different shooting a doe compared to shooting a mature buck. And when you take some does, you start to get that muscle memory down. You start to figure out how to calm your nerves so that when the moment comes that you have that mature buck in front of you, you're able to execute the shot because you've done it multiple times before. Now, I had the buck of my lifetime in front of me a couple years ago, and when I saw that deer step out, I tell you, I had buck fever bad. I was shaking. I was nervous. I knew I was going to get a shot at him, but as he started to walk into the opening, I was able to calm my breathing. I was able to get myself to not focus on the rack. And when he actually stepped out and I pulled the bow back to shoot at him, then it was all instinct. It was all muscle memory. I'd done it over 40 times before, multiple times on does. So when he was in the shooting lane and I put that pin where it needed to be, I was able to execute the shot without being too nervous and shaking. Now, it definitely all starts with practice. We got to be putting that time in before we even touch the deer stand to be doing plenty of shooting. It's good to shoot from an elevated position, shooting at 3D targets, shooting from different angles, anticipating different situations we might run into on the deer stand. All that is great and necessary because we want to do everything we can to make sure that we have our shooting dialed in even before we step foot on the deer stand. But there is no duplicate for real world hunting experience, for putting ourselves out there on the deer stand and actually having that animal in front of us that we want to harvest. So that's where shooting does and getting some does under our belt, getting some harvests under our belt can really benefit us so that we are ready when that mature buck steps out, because we've done it before. It's not our first rodeo. Having that practice on does, I think, is huge when it comes to being able to execute on a mature buck. Now, bad shots can still happen, no matter how much practice we put in or how many does we harvest. If you follow my page, you know that I hit a doe a little bit further back this year than I was hoping, and I felt just absolutely sick about it. But I feel like if we are diligent in, doing our doe harvests, if we're diligent in our practice, those types of shots will become less and less frequent because that muscle memory, that instinctual shooting will just get better and better with time. So if you're a bow hunter and you love venison and you haven't shot many deer with your bow, maybe consider targeting a doe or two this year so that when that mature buck that you've been after steps in front of you, you're able to get the job done. All right, y'all take care. God bless.